I am Zeph from T21 and welcome to Adventure Ride Chat, the place where all bikes are adventure and where the chat starts here with me and continues with all of us down in that comment area. And if you are new to this segment of T21, please do consider subscribing. Today I have a little bit of a grape to share with you. It's a different kind of chat because this weekend, well, the fine folks at BMW lended me a 2018 R1200GS Adventure for me to test drive. And how can I put this? The bike handled beautifully, the bike did everything it needed to do, and it worked flawlessly. But I hated it. I hated it. Let's start at the beginning. The bike does have an engine that keeps on giving. It handles like nothing I've ever driven before. It's most likely the most easy driving bike I've ever been on. But how can I put that a machine that does everything it's supposed to do, everything it was designed to do, how can I hate it? Well, there's three main components to that. One is the weight, for sure. And when I just said it was the easiest driving bike I've ever been on, I'm not lying, it really is. You sit on a bike, you take it off the side stand, and it feels like it has 100 kilos. My hand is busted, I still can barely drive, and I took the thing on a 600-kilometer ride. And I could barely feel it. My hand doesn't hurt more or less because of it. With the cruise control on, I could just take my hand off and just cruise along. It was perfect. The problem is, it's deceiving. Your brain reacts to a 100-kilo bike because that's what kind of feels it's driving. But then you hit a pothole, you hit a speed bump, and the bike does that little thing that all bikes do. The problem is that your brain is reacting to 100 kilos, and then the bike does that little thing, and for that split second, that information goes from 100 to 300. And that's not good, that's scary. I had an old 2010 GS 1200 Adventure, and that bike felt sturdy. It felt a little bit heavier driving, still handled beautifully. I think I need to get one of those again. But the bike handled beautifully. It was a little bit heavier on the throttle, a little bit heavier on the handlebar, but my brain always knew that bike was on the heavy side. With this one, it's deceiving. When you stand up on the bike, well, it feels almost like a proper enduro bike. It feels like the back of the bike is really nimble and small and you can just skid it around, but when you sit down, it just feels like a glorified scooter, to be honest. And I know I'm gonna get water backlash on this one, but that's kind of what it feels like. And it's not. I would love to see the bike feel a little bit heavier. It would be safer, because although my brain knows it's heavy, it's on back ramp. It's not always programmed to know that. So when I get those little wee, it really feels like a wee moment, and that's not good. You want it to feel more constant all throughout. But again, how can I complain when they did it perfectly? They did a 300-kilo bike feel like a 100-kilo bike. Who am I to say it's wrong? For me, it is. Second thing that I hated, and I hated it deeply. Yes, it's the 2018 LCD model. It's beautiful, super crisp, clear colors. It does everything except showcase Netflix. But what about the controls? Why don't we get retro lit controls? On the right hand, sure, there's 3 buttons, I can deal with them. On the left hand, there's 12 buttons. Am I supposed to learn and memorize their place literally overnight? I took the bike in the morning, and at night when I was driving back, pitch black, I wanted to put my high beam on. Couldn't find the button. Literally couldn't find the button. I was pressing all of them, but there's 12. I couldn't find it. I was just pulling the trigger for hours. That's not how it's supposed to. A few kilometers down the road, still at night, pitch black, fog came in. But I mean fog, I haven't ridden in fog like that in years. I couldn't see more than 1.5 meters in front of the bike. I wanted to put my 4 blinkers on, not to see more, but just so someone that was on the back wouldn't ram me over. Guess what? Couldn't find it. I couldn't find where to put the 4 blinkers on because I had no light on me and I was looking at that massive black of buttons and I couldn't see what to press. It's a 2018 model with an LCD on front. Is it too hard to put a little retro light on the buttons? even as an option, because I understand a lot of people might not want that. But if I'm paying that top dollar for a bike, I want to be able to use it from the moment I pick it up, not from the moment I memorize where all the buttons are. Makes no sense. And in the end, the engine. I'm wearing a BMW Moto Club t-shirt. I'm a Beamer. I'm on my second BMW. I built one from scratch with BMW Portugal. I grew up seeing Charlie and Ewan going around the world on their motorcycles, on their big BMW motorcycles. I'm a Beamer. But those bikes have something. Those old BMWs, and from the 1150 to the 1200 to the 800, those bikes have charisma, those bikes have a soul, those bikes have something that you sit on them and you feel you're not driving a machine, you are driving something, you are having an experience. This one, I honestly didn't feel that. I rode 600 kilometers without a single smile in my face. The engine is too loose. You come down to a corner, you downshift, and the engine does that little whoa from the downshifting and it just releases again. It didn't have that engine braking that the old 1200 had. And that 1200, that 2010 model, you would downshift into a corner or you would just push the throttle back a little bit and you would start hearing that exhaust backfire like a machine gun. You could be doing 40 kilometers an hour and you'd still have a huge smile in your face and you would feel like you were driving a Spitfire. It was fantastic. The soul on that thing was up the wazoo, and on this one, I honestly wouldn't be able to tell you what the exhaust sounds like. I would downshift into a corner and the engine wouldn't brake, which for me sucks. I would have to go on the brakes a lot, although the brakes top notch, but I would have to go on the brakes a lot, and I wanted to drive it like the old GS. I wanted to drive it like something that has charisma, that has a soul, that was driving with me. The bike wasn't talking to me, ever. It never talked to me. I hate it. I really hate it. I feel that they produced a fantastic machine, a piece of engineering that's just astonishingly well done, but they removed its soul. And that killed my GS spirit. That killed what I love about bikes. That killed that enthusiasm of going around and having a smile on my face because I'm driving a bike. I did not felt that with the new 1200. And I'm very sorry to say that, but please bring a soul back into the machines. Please bring a GS that has that soul back, that has that spirit of GS, that has that spirit of off-road, and that has that spirit of people that enjoy their bikes, enjoy communicating with their bikes, and enjoy having a drive with their bikes, not sitting on a machine that goes. So this is what I think. I would love to know down below what you guys think. If you ever had an experience with a GS, if you ever had an experience with a bike that had a soul in it, because I had other bikes in the past that have a soul and they were not BMWs and they were not GSs. But I would love to hear your opinion. Of course, if you are new, please consider subscribing. Please consider hitting that big thumbs up, hitting that subscription bell so you can get all the notifications, leaving your comments down below, because I would really like to have a very serious chat with people about this. And of course, next Saturday, I'm gonna be here again.